What is up, football fans? It's the end of the season. Week 17 just concluded, and we've got some scenarios, boys. We're in, or we're out. We win, we're in. We win, we lose. It's over.
We're out.
This is, I mean, as a Texans fan, it's been rare to experience like win or go home in the last week of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But now here we are.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's this season too.
And it's nerve-wracking. I mean, against the Colts, whom I hate, who I despise, and wish that their franchise would end. And so there's just a lot of stakes, even more than win or go home, which is obviously huge, but it's just it's kind of a lot of shit talking for the next year, between Colts and Texans fans, like who gets to be on top of that. And it's a whole lot. And then if you look at your team, Stone, I mean, Miami and Buffalo, Sunday Night Football, it's going to be an intense one.
I can't believe y'all are playing I can't believe y'all are playing for the fucking division.
So this is Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast, brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, and Apollo's wing joint, as well as the Celebrity Mint. Go check out celebritymint.com. You can see their stuff in the description below on YouTube at Apollo HOU. But yeah, boys, Texans, they got to win. They got to win this week. Need a win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, sure did. It kind of just, to me, it felt like, expected, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I wasn't even that excited about the win. Obviously I am, but I was like, expected. You know, we have to beat the shit out of that team.
That. Like that was
late in the season. Yeah,
it was like, we need that. If we're the type of team that we think we are, this is going to be a cakewalk. And it was. I mean, Texans won 26-3. Just absolutely dominated the Titans in pretty much every aspect. And it was nice to see. And it was a good warm-up. It was a good warm-up game for Stroud.
Hey, the Titans fucking stink.
They're so bad.
They are terrible.
Insane.
I mean, I thought maybe they'd muster up 13 points. My score prediction was 27-13. They didn't even muster up. They just mustered up a field goal, and it was like a 53-yarder. It was barely
Somehow
just in. So
Will Levis was like
stink,
Superman against the Miami Dolphins, and ever since he's just been terrible.
Yep.
He's bad against the Texans, man.
Well, no, that's true. I mean, the Texans are his fucking boogeyman. Like 2 weeks ago, we played them, and he got hurt. He got banged up, couldn't play, and then which sucks. We don't want that. But then he misses last week. Finally gets back this week. Big game. I mean, first quarter, maybe the beginning of the second quarter. I mean, he gets pummeled by Jerry Hughes, and then he's out again. And it's like, that's tough, man. And that's, you know what? Get used to it, buddy. Get used to it.
God.
I think that
all right.
I think the Dolphins
used to getting injured.
Had 5 sacks, a forced fumble, and a pick six on them, and we lost the game.
Yeah, that's
brutal.
That's insane.
That's tough. Because like you win that one, and you're not even
worried about it. Having to just throw up all over the place. Like I'm just already nervous, and it's Tuesday, January 2nd at 12:01 p.m. I'm gonna throw up for the next 6 days. Just be miserable.
Hey,
I love how Stone's life is like, oh, big game. I'm going to Miami. Like you're just gonna go be there. That's crazy.
You're like, I will go do it myself.
And the last night game did not go well. But the last Sunday night game I was at was last year against Pittsburgh, 50th anniversary season. So maybe we're all right on Sunday night. Monday night games, no bueno. No bueno.
Yeah. Monday night this year has just been bad mojo for a lot of teams. So bad Monday night games for a lot of people. So on Sunday night, as long as it's not an ESPN for you. If you were playing on Saturday night ESPN, you might lose.
Chris Collinsworth
Sunday night,
slobbing all over Josh Allen. So won't hear it. I'll be there, so I won't hear it at all. It'll be great.
Oh yeah.
So week 17 has concluded earlier in our lifetimes. This would have been the end of the season. We'd be talking about playoffs right now. But week 18 is upon us. We add an extra game. Let's talk about the first game of the week that kind of mattered. Cowboys, Lions, Saturday night. The refs and the Cowboys just stole a game. They just stole the game right from Detroit's fingertips.
Yeah, that was tough because that was purely like Detroit they just outcoached Dallas for the final play of the game or the final play that mattered. Yeah.
Yeah.
They outcoached them, and then the refs were just like, no, you didn't. It just didn't matter at the end. I mean, that would have been such a solid coaching win, for Dan Campbell and company.
It would have been.
And that was just a tough one. That was a tough one. It was cringy. I cringed watching it. I was like, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys get their fair share of bullshit that happens to them. Like, it's happened. Like, I'm not gonna say that because they've been on the other side of it a lot. But it just was bullshit because also I've been rooting for the Lions all year. I really like their story. I like Dan Campbell. I like the energy that they've built in Detroit, and seeing that fall through their fingers in such a way was like really annoying and also just like cringy and just bad for football. Like that was just ridiculous. And the officiating crew it's like kind of one of the biggest kind of reactions I've seen to an officiating crew messing up a call, because now they're like getting downgraded from the playoffs. Like, they had a playoff game scheduled and they took it away from them.
I think
like they're getting
they had 5 different games that people pointed out where there was blatant issues with the refs that caused a win for one team and a loss for the other team. And the first game was the Dolphins-Eagles game, where they just refused to call anything against the Dolphins. And they had 10 penalties for the Dolphins, 0 for the Eagles, when there was just like roughing the passer, face masks, all of those things. And then there was like a handful of other games before this one, including the week before, right? I believe it was the week before they just blew a game, and then they get this game, blow it again. Yeah, of course they're going to be downgraded for the playoffs. I mean, you can't have 5 or 6 games throughout the entire season just being blatantly on one side's team and not the other.
Yeah. There's going to be a wild 30 to 30 that comes out about those dudes. And it's all rigged. I'm going to say it's going to be all rigged. You can see it right now.
I mean, it's incredibly sus how that ref said, well, no, 68 didn't report as eligible. It was 70. And then just said he never even talked to 70.
Yeah.
He 68 and someone came up to him, and then 70 was way behind him, and he ran away.
Only announced that 70 was
no, I don't want to hear it.
And like, the PA speakers, because they announced it through the PA speakers, and they only announced that 70 was eligible.
And 70 wasn't even talking to him. He was just like fucking 10 feet away from him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was just like either A, they are just rigging it, which I don't think that's the case. I think they're just so fucking stupid. I think that rep is so stupid and doesn't care that he just didn't pay attention, and he made a stupid mistake, which costed the Lions a really cool win in a cool way, mind you. When Patrick Mahomes was crying about Travis Kelce throwing that lateral to Tony, and it was a blatant penalty. Like, he was like, "Oh, it's a fucking take away a cool, fix a Hall of Fame career," and shit like that, and he was crying because of that. Like, I get it. I get if the Lions were like saying the same, like Jared Goff was saying the same thing. Like, he was like, "Fucking took away. Why would you do that? Stupid call and then take away a cool play in the game. Fuck off." Yeah, no, that's the Lions deserve the cries that the Chiefs are doing.
Yeah. Well, and I've seen Cowboys fans complain about how both of the offensive linemen walked up to the ref, because they did. There was a couple of them there, but the thing is, and they were like, "Well, they shouldn't do that. They're trying to confuse the defense." And I was like, "Is there a written rule that 2 offensive linemen can't walk up?"
We're reporting as eligible. That was the thing. They had as 2 eligible? Linemen as eligible.
Okay,
one lined up as a guard instead of a tackle, so it throws him off. But he reported eligible. That was the thing.
Well, and also it's like, yeah, I would too. Even if I just one of them was reporting as eligible, you're gonna make it. So, you know what I mean? Like why not just have all of them walk over there just so they don't know what's going on? There's nothing wrong with that, and it's just Cowboys fans finding reasons to weep, and even though they won, but it was bullshit, and it was really upsetting.
I mean, the implications were the 2 seed, really. So if the Lions win that game, they pretty much solidified themselves at the 2 seed. If they won in week 18, I believe is what it was. And then the Cowboys are now sitting primo in the 2 seed because the Arizona Cardinals worked some magic and beat both the Cowboys and Eagles this year. Eagles are just limping into the playoffs. No one looks healthy. They don't look good. The vibes are at an all-time low. Philadelphia Eagles, what are we doing losing to the Cardinals in week 17?
Yeah, that was. I mean, dude, they got
35 to 31 at the end of the game.
0. Yeah, no, that is, and you can see on the sideline too, like they're panicking, they're hitting the panic button, and to do it 2 weeks before a road playoff game, assuming that
Yeah,
I don't, the Cowboys didn't
No, they
lock up
didn't
the
lock.
two
They have to
seed,
win
right? Yet
against
they didn't lock
who are the
up
Cowboys playing next week. The Commanders. Yeah, they're playing the Commanders.
either commanders, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, yeah. So assuming, I'm just going to assume that the Eagles will be playing on the road on the
yeah,
wild card weekend, and that like you cannot be doing what they are doing right now before probably going to play like like a 4 seed or a 3 seed.
yeah. No, I mean they're falling apart. They're done. I mean, I don't. They're not. I mean, I wouldn't consider them Super Bowl contenders like a lot of people did earlier this year. I don't think they have a shot. I mean, they're just like you look at AJ Brown after the game. Did you? I don't know if y'all saw, but he wasn't talking to the media, and they were asking him questions. But they were like, "You're going to talk later this week," and he was like, "I don't know." Like he's checked out. Everyone's pissed. It's falling apart, and I don't really know what the solution is. I don't know what the problem is right now, but I mean, I trust the Eagles to figure it out. But right now, I mean, that's tough. But also, I do want to talk about the Cardinals. They're a fine team. Obviously, we've seen that the record doesn't show it, but obviously because they didn't have Kyler for a lot of the year. But Kyler Murray is a guy who, if he's out there, you never know what he can do. I think on like ESPN before the games yesterday, the fucking Eagles were like 14-point favorites or something insane. And you just can't. I mean, you just can't do that. As if you're the Eagles, if you're Jalen Hurts, that's tough, man. But shout out to the Cardinals. Good job. Good job. I want to give
the
them
Cardinals had
flowers.
Kyler Murray all season. Do you think they win 7 games? Maybe 8?
Yeah, probably.
I think they're at 4.
Definitely. What do they have, 4 right
They're
now?
at 4 right now. Yeah, I can see them getting 8.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because like before the season started, everyone was mocking like Caleb Williams to the Cardinals,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just kind of writing Kyler off.
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't really understand why Kyler is like not a bad quarterback.
no.
And hey, like he's not a bad quarterback. Look, he just won. He was kind of I mean, without Hollywood Brown too, just kind of out there, just fucking I mean, playing like he did in college, just making it happen.
His number one receiver yesterday was a man named Greg Dortch.
And shout out to
shout
out
to
it's James Conner
making it happen,
as well.
dude. I mean, he's making it happen,
helping people's out in the fantasy championship.
Had a big day.
He helped me out on one side, but Tyler Lockett screwed it on the other side. But it's fine. The Cardinals look good, and Jonathan Gannon, we made fun of him a lot in preseason. The video when he's like introducing himself to players, and it's like, oh brother, this guy ever been in an NFL locker room before?
He's an awkward guy.
Crazy. And Eagles fans were mocking him all season long because they couldn't win games. Their defense wasn't good. Yada yada yada. Look what happened. Cardinals get the last laugh. Jonathan Gannon gets the last laugh. It's rough.
If there was a chance of him being a one and done, I didn't think it was going to happen because they haven't been like that bad this year. Yeah. But if there was a chance of him being one and done, he saved himself from being a one and done with this big win. I mean, obviously like going to Philly and winning is never easy, and he did it with scraps. So good for Jonathan Gannon. Sorry for making fun of you.
It was warranted,
but you're kind of awkward. Like you're kind of weird. But come on. Like this is hey, boy talk. This is men's locker room, and we give each other shit, dude. Also, I think I mean it's dangerous to get like going back to Eagles, like checking out, like Noah said, giving the team like because last year they had such an attitude, cocky. Nick Sirianni does the fucking thing where he's looking at the camera like nodding and shit and yelling at Chiefs fans. I think it's obviously like you let your players do that, you let your coaches do that. Like when you're winning, it's awesome. But it's also they're gonna have a cocky attitude when they're fucking losing too, which will make them look worse. Kind of like Jalen Hurts the other day after Seahawks. AJ Brown, like they just like that's why I think the coaching staff needs to always limit that kind of stuff to a certain degree. Like a strong coaching culture like D'Amico Ryans has built. You don't see him looking at the camera like nodding like that and shit like that. And I mean. It's entertaining for sure, but as soon as you start losing, it's like your players are like they're like spoiled kids. They don't know how to act and they don't know how to keep themselves in control. self control in the media and stuff like that. So, I mean, hopefully in the off season they can get new coordinators and kind of work on that and stuff, because I do like the Eagles. They're fun to watch. It's not fun to watch them implode. So
yeah. Well, one last thing on the Cardinals is they're in a good position because we see what they're capable of. We see that Kyler is still that guy. We see that maybe they might have hit on a coach. We'll see how it goes, later on, and as that his tenure goes along. But they're sitting here with the 4th pick overall in the draft and need a receiver badly. And this is Marvin Harrison Jr. might be right there because the first 3 teams are probably going to be quarterbacks. So they're kind of in a good spot going into 2024, and hopefully they can capitalize. But I mean, Kyler Murray throwing to Marvin Harrison Jr. and having James Conner in the backfield, it's not too shabby going into next year.
They could also go another route, get an offensive
all.
lineman with the 4 pick or 5 pick, whatever it ends up being. And then they also have your pick this year, correct? Late first rounder. So it's a deep wide receiver draft. You can get one like the Washington guy from last night. Guy's crazy. Yeah. You can get somebody later in the first round and probably be okay, as long as you don't pick Quentin Johnston. Shout out the Chargers. But, they're in a good position.
Yeah.
I think they have a coach and their quarterback's back. They got a good running back. So you start building around them. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, maybe Cardinals. Hey, look, Cardinals fans, things are looking up.
But the Eagles, vibes are at an all-time low, and Matt Patricia is calling your defense. Maybe if you get rid of Matt Patricia.
Maybe next year.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing here,
guys.
Yeah, this is good.
Thanks for coming out.
Last thing we'll talk about today. It appears that we have our Super Bowl matchup. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. 49ers and Ravens. Class of the NFC and the AFC, bar none. The Ravens put up 56. John Harbaugh, you are on my shit list, have been for several years. But John Harbaugh, next time I see you, fisticuffs. It's fisticuffs.
It's on site.
And that is a threat.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
It's fucking lightning and thunder. Yeah. No, doing any team, any coach puts up, 50 on you in the last touchdown
right
comes
after
from
your star defensive player
Tyler Huntley to some. That's
no.
Well,
no idea.
I don't know why Chubb was playing. Let's be real.
Nevertheless,
yeah, that was weird, but yeah, that does suck. And 56 against right now the second best team in the AFC according to seedings. Yeah, that's a lot of momentum. That's pretty telling. That's a lot of momentum. So, I don't know who's going to go into Baltimore in the AFC and beat them. I just don't know.
Ravens 49ers just is a very aesthetically pleasing game for me, too. So, I'd love that Super Bowl matchup. And, yeah, you're right. Honestly, I could see the 49ers fall off a little bit in the playoff. I think the Ravens are probably a lock for the AFC. I think at the moment, I think we can all agree. But I think the Niners are a team who the Cowboys can give them some trouble. The Lions can give them trouble. But
I don't know about that.
You're right. I get it. They're definitely the favorites, but I don't trust the Niners as much as I do the Ravens right now. And I know the Niners kicked the shit out of whatever poor team they came across this week. I don't remember.
Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders. But I think
it's funny.
Go ahead.
It's funny because the reason why they look so, or the reason why maybe you think that is because just last week the fucking Ravens beat the shit out of them.
They played the Ravens. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, and every other team they're good against, and then they play the Ravens, and obviously they struggled against them. And it's just oh well, the other it's 1A, 1B, and they played each other, and
that's true.
Yeah, so who knows? It'll be different. The matchup, because we're calling it right now. Basically, it's Niners and Ravens Super Bowl.
Much.
Yeah, no objections. Yeah, no. Maybe it'll be a different matchup, different kind of game in February. But yeah, no, that's the preview. That's the Super Bowl preview.
Yeah, we got it. We can just clip this now and just post it in February, right before the Super Bowl, because we know what it's going to be. As of now, unless something really bad happens before then, like injury wise or something like that, but. Right now,
and then when it's the Browns and Lions Super Bowl,
that would be incredible.
We're going to delete it because we sound so
That'd be
confident
the
about it.
one
We're
scenario
talking
where
with a
I'm
lot of
like, all right,
conviction
I'm okay
right now.
with the
So,
Dolphins not being in the Super Bowl. If the Browns and Lions played against each other, that'd be awesome.
yeah. I would
So
be
good.
so into that, dude.
Me too.
I would be so fucking excited for that Super Bowl. That would just be like, what the fucking, these teams are fucking
Wild.
from the trenches, dude. In the last like 20 years, like, yeah. So, but no, I mean, Super Bowl matchup is pretty set in my opinion. Like it's one team in the conference and the rest, and then there's the other team in the other conference, and then the rest, and they
Have y'all
stand
seen
tall
the
above every other
Super
team.
Bowl
you know,
logo
so.
color theory? So this year's color
Yeah.
for the logo of the Super Bowl is red and purple. 49ers, Ravens. Every year, the colors of the Super Bowl logo match the teams that end up playing in the Super Bowl. Last year was red and green, Eagles, Chiefs, and so on and so forth. It's been that way for a while now. I'm not sure if that's just coincidence or the NFL. The NFL's actually endeavored into the NBA, and they're like, "Hey,
I mean,
what y'all got going on is pretty good. Let's just start doing that, but like make it so subtle that we can't even like accuse refs of fixing games in order to get to where we're at." Yeah, maybe there's something about that.
I gotta go look into this later. Yeah, I gotta. Look
I mean, dude, it's pretty egregious because like the 2021 Super Bowl when the Rams and Bengals played, the colors of the logo were like blue, like royal blue and orange, and it's like what interesting. Those are literally opposite colors, or almost opposite colors. And it was the Rams and Bengals of the Super Bowl that year. So it's just like
so maybe.
All right, yeah. So, and then last year it was
Arizona
green and red.
Yeah. It's
but
you could like the Ravens could be the Vikings technically. Vikings aren't eliminated just yet. Like Kirk Cousins comes back. I don't know. We're just spitballing here.
Yeah.
But then red.
He should have got the same surgery that Aaron got.
We get a Tampa Minnesota matchup.
That.
Maybe they mean battle red
against the Vikings.
Yeah, maybe the Texans
are purple.
Yeah. I was about to say yes. That has to be
Which Vikings and Texans Super Bowl,
the Dolphins.
That's my wet dream, dude.
I want to say this: if the Texans make the Super Bowl this year,
what are we doing?
I will climb the Empire State Building.
Are we free climbing?
Okay. I will
like you mean like go up the stairs and go to the top
like
a tourist?
Inspector Gadget outside, like.
Oh, okay.
All the way up.
Mission Impossible 4 with the fucking gloves.
Yeah.
In Dubai. Okay. Yeah. No.
Or yeah.
Well,
and I'm shaving my eyebrows. We'll get the Josh Jobs bet back, and I'll just shave my eyebrows.
Yeah.
I think you'll be okay. I don't think you have to do any of that, unfortunately. But hey, if we were fully healthy, maybe that would have been interesting. Because I mean, if we're talking about scenarios, it could be Stoney. This podcast could be.
I was literally just about to bring that up. If the Dolphins win, we get the 2 seed. The Texans win, you could end up being the 7 seed, which would mean a wild card matchup between our 2 teams, between our podcast.
Which
I mean, we joked about.
Could you ever imagine? That's fucking like a really high possibility.
There's a
very
clear scenario.
We'll play the playoffs.
We're back in there 2 weeks.
It's probably, I would say it's the most likely shot. Yeah, like honestly,
it is probably the most likely scenario.
Yeah,
it's either that or because if we win, I don't think we're going to win the division.
Have to lose the
Titans. I think the Jags
win the division.
Titans.
So say we win this week and we lock up that 7th seed because that's probably the only one we can lock up. We'll either be playing the Bills on the road or the Dolphins on the road.
Not great.
Which both of them are like, fuck,
Yeah.
But I think I would much rather, I don't know, play the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I'd rather play the
It'd
Dolphins.
be interesting.
Yeah.
So,
no offense,
those scenarios, like if the Steelers win, the Dolphins win, and y'all win, are y'all the 6th seed or the 7th seed? Like, who gets the 6 or the 7? Okay.
I think we're the 6th.
Then you would go to KC
because we beat the Steelers
instead. Because
we
the
have
3 seed, they're locked in.
I want to do that. I would do that.
City really bad.
Bro, I think we could win against Kansas City, honestly.
I do too.
I guess, dude, the Kansas City just seems to be having trouble with everyone.
Mhm.
and Jake Browning almost beat them without Jamar Chase. So like,
CJ
I
Stroud
mean,
would do us.
did Jamar
Yes,
Chase
he
play?
did.
Am I tripping?
He did.
Jamar Chase played. Didn't he?
Yeah, I think he played. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe last week. Yeah, no, I mean they still had trouble with him, and their offense just looks bad, and we have a good defense, and I think we could win against Kansas City. So that would be a cool scenario. But Steelers have to win against the fucking Ravens. So
I just want to
That's
get
probably not
in.
gonna happen.
That's my thing. I just want to. We just need. I
Win
just
and
want to
you're
get in so bad. And yeah, I mean, if we're in, like, I don't really care. I mean, I care who we play. Like I said, I'd rather play the Chiefs. I'd rather play. I mean, I don't want to play the Bills, to be honest. I want to play the Dolphins. But yeah, I mean, I just want to get in. I don't want Indy in because Gardner Minshew does not need to be in the fucking playoffs. I say it all the time, and I know I complain about him a lot. He doesn't need to be in the playoffs. He doesn't need to be in the playoffs.
We cannot talk
Put
shit
some
about Gardner
respect on
Minshew this
Brandon
week, bro. Okay, we cannot. Do
I
that.
will. No, I fucking will. You know, I will
boy.
talk shit about Gardner
Here we
Minshew this
go.
week.
It's
I
over.
will.
It's over,
We'll do
Garrett.
I will.
You gotta apologize to Wheatlove right now because he thinks things are fucking funny when it happens to us because he's been making bad things happen to us for the last fucking 10 years.
I'm not
dude.
saying anything. I'm not saying he's bad or he's shitty, but I will say I don't like him and his stupid fucking face and his stupid haircut.
You're talking to all of Brandon, Mississippi right now.
We just
too.
lost.
Terrible.
We just lost.
Terrible move.
Oh darn!
Hotbed of
What am I
professional
going to
athletes.
do?
Hotbed of
Brandon,
professional
Mississippi.
athletes.
Yeah,
We just lost.
Yep, it's over.
We just lost. Thanks, Noah.
Week 17's in the book.
We did not.
Fucking lost, dude.
Mhm.
I need to win. I need to win for my own sanity because I don't. The way I'm going to be watching the game on Saturday does not need to be the last game
Yeah,
I watch
that'd be
this
rough.
season. So,
Yeah,
that would be
fucking,
rough.
please playoffs, dude.
So do we
please.
think the Ravens are sitting everyone?
Please,
Yeah.
guys, please.
They're just going to rest everyone?
No, I was thinking that. I don't.
Because they're locked.
I think they'll play him
At
for a
one.
half. They're locked into one, but I think just because like sitting your guys is like for the whole game of the last game is like it's like I think it's been known, like or it's kind of known at this point. Like yeah, it's I mean you don't want your guys getting rusty. Get them some reps at least. So I think like they'll play like the first half.
Yeah, 2 years ago, the
and then
Bills did it
second
against the
half, they'll
Dolphins
be
and
out. Well, I don't
beat
know.
the Dolphins by like 45 with Matt Barkley as the quarterback. So
Yeah, well,
and you,
yeah, well, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if at this point, like sitting your guys is a common thing in the NFL anymore. Like I think playing them for a half and then after that is like we'll see
Yeah.
how the game is. If they're like up by
Yeah.
like 10 or 15, like
I'm
10
praying for
or 2 scores, we're
Mason
like,
Rudolph
sit Lamar,
masterclass.
you know, he won MVP. He got 1 seed. Mason, well, but hey, by the way,
Hey,
before we close out, I want to talk about Mason Rudolph, dude, because like he has a winning fucking record in his career, right? He hasn't started a lot of games, but
Yes.
he has won more games than he has not.
yeah.
And did you hear
No.
what Kenny Pickett did? Kenny Pickett, so he was going to be active,
Uh-huh.
but they were going to make him the backup, and he refused
Oh.
to be in. He
I missed
refused to be
that.
active for the game. Kenny Pickett, reportedly, allegedly, and it like, and that's why because everyone was talking about he's healthy, he's good, and then boom, inactive the start of the game. Apparently, they're like, hey, we're going to start Mason this week. He did so well last week. We're going to start him this week, and Kenny was like, I'm not going to be his backup, so fucking I'm inactive this week. So Mitch Trubisky
Interesting.
became the backup
Damn.
to Mason Rudolph.
You want to
And
hear
Mason Rudolph ended up winning.
You want to hear
the
a funny
game.
stat?
Yeah. No, Mason Rudolph's good.
Every game
Yeah.
that Mitch Trubisky has not played in for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year, the Steelers are 9-3 with Kenny Pickett and Mason
Holy
Rudolph as
shit.
their quarterbacks. Every game that Mitch Trubisky has not played in, so that includes the game that Kenny Pickett went out and Trubisky came in. Was that the Patriots game? Maybe.
Right.
Yeah. So Mitch Trubisky
Yeah.
bad, Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett not bad is what I've learned. And shout out to Mike Tomlin, 17 straight years of not being under 500.
That's insane.
God, what a I mean, just like a top 3 guy to ever do it, man. Fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
dude, that's
I mean,
crazy.
crazy. And I mean, he somehow gets to the playoffs this year. It's like, what you have to give this guy a star quarterback, bro? Please.
Yeah, like, can we please figure it out for him? Please.
Could be Mason Rudolph. I don't know. I mean, he looks like a quarterback.
Yeah.
He has a quarterback name, Mason Rudolph. It's like that's a That's a quarterback right there. That's a
Yeah.
quarterback from the '90s right there.
Mhm.
And then in the press conference, in the pressers, he looks like a
looks
leader of
fucking
a team.
Clark
He's
Kent,
like,
bro.
he's confident, calm, and collective. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I think he has a winning record in his career, and he's
Yeah.
2-0.
I think the only knock you can
this
put on
year,
the guy is
and
something that he
hey,
said to
bro.
Myles Garrett, where he snatched a helmet and hit him with it. He had to say
He
something
said something. Yeah.
That's the only.
I don't know.
That's
I
the
don't
only
know
qualm we have.
Yeah,
Yes,
It's funny how we're always going to remember him for that.
The
though,
moment where Myles Garrett picked up
Really.
the helmet this year against the Steelers, and everyone on the offensive line had PTSD. We're like, whoa, whoa, whoa!
Yeah, they're like, whoa!
Just give me the helmet. Give me the helmet.
I'm
Yeah,
cool
and he's
now.
like, dude, I
I'm cool now."
didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything this time.
But yeah, that's what they all say. Fucking hell,
Mhm.
assault.
Boys, week 17 is in the books. It's do or die time. Win and we're in. Lose and y'all are out. Let's just get a win
Yep.
and meet up in Miami for wildcard weekend.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh my
buddy.
God!
I don't know how y'all
All
are
right,
getting there.
yeah,
But I'll be.
that sounds awesome.
All right.
I
It's
have
not a bad
vehicle.
drive,
I can
Houston.
I'll
drive.
figure it out. Yeah, I'll get there.
Nah.
Pretty- That's tough.
You can always stop in
Not at
Tallahassee
all.
for some Subway. Not sponsored. Right, Noah?
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
won't have a
that's
fucking baby with me crying about it the whole time. So
Yeah, that's true. Dude,
Oh my.
I'm gonna go get some
God,
Subway
that's
right now.
just
That sounds
brutal.
banging.
This has been Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast, brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint, and Celebrity Mint. Go check out the Ric Flair and Mike Tyson graded collectibles that they have on their website at celebritymint.com. Awesome stuff. It's not Christmas anymore, but it's always good stuff for your stockings, So just stock up for next year and just go ahead and put it in the stocking.
Yeah.
Put it in the room and then wait for that person to open it next year.
yeah,
It's been Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast. We'll see you later this week.
Later.
watch NFL, watch football.